everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for March. And you guys, spring is like prime time for releasing. Spring and summer, it seems like just go crazy. And so I tried to be somewhat like, I tried not to put everything on here, but it's still a pretty big list. So grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever. Let's talk about some books. So let's see. March 1st, there is I think, indie pub book coming out called Blank by Zibby Owens. So, this is her debut fiction, but she has written quite a few different nonfiction books about like mothering and stuff like that. And this is supposed to be kind of a funny, a funny women's fiction about a 40-something-year-old author who is trying to write her sophomore novel. But her idea gets taken by like one of the big names in publishing and stuff. So she's like, okay, I can't do that. So now she has 5 days to write her sophomore novel. And I think her editor gets involved. There's a lot of like self-discovery and things that go on. Like I said, it's been advertised as being really humorous. And so I kind of like those stories. She has kids that help her too. So it could be quirky. It could be silly and in a good way or bad way, but I'm really excited to see. Next, on March 5th, there's a lot. So Bye Baby by Carola Lovering. So I've loved Carola Lovering books in the past. Not like all-time favorites, but I really enjoy her books. And this is about a missing baby. So I think the tagline is like a missing baby, a fraught friendship, and secrets that can never be told. So these best friends live in an apartment building or something where one lives on top of the other. And one night, one of them starts screaming because her baby is gone. Well, the other best friend is holding the baby and has her, or has it. I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but she kidnapped her best friend's baby. So I think it's told in now and then timelines. We get 20 years ago or whenever they became friends, and kind of resentment that's been building since. The one with the baby is super successful, has a wealthy husband, all that kind of stuff, whereas the one who kidnapped the baby is single and kind of down on her luck. And so there's going to be a lot of friendship dynamics to explore, I think. I don't know. We'll see, but I trust Carola Lovering to do at least an interesting and engaging story, so we'll see. Next is The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. I have yet to read a Lisa Unger book, and I really want to because I've heard great things about her. Specifically, Confessions on the 745. I think I just hauled that because I've heard such good things, so tell me if you've read it. But this is about a couple who they're like on hard times financially, and then lo and behold, his uncle or something dies and gives them an apartment in New York City. And so they go, but things are kind of sinister in said apartment. So there's people keep dying, there's cameras everywhere, all the things. And so they're kind of wondering what's going on. Sounds interesting. And like I said, I'm really excited to try this author. Next is Expiration Dates by Rebecca Serle. So another one that I really loved in 5 years. Like I really liked it. And I don't know if I've read anything else by her. I think I have. Yeah, I did. I read her other book too. Anyway, this one is an interesting concept where this woman meets a guy. She's dating, single, whatever. Meets a guy and gets somehow a piece of paper that says when they'll break up. So this piece of paper says she's going to meet this guy and know him for 3 days. Then, 5 months, whatever it may be. Well, she meets this guy and she's like constantly waiting for one that doesn't have an expiration date. And so she meets this guy and I think she starts questioning if the paper is real or not. I am one that like in these kind of books, I don't need to know like the measure and stuff. I don't need to know the details of how she gets the paper and stuff. Like I'll buy it. Let's just go for a good story. So I think I have potential to really like it. I think it's interesting to know like all these kind of things are very interesting to me of like if the more we know, does it become a self-fulfilling prophecy? Like if you get a piece of paper that says you're going to know this person for 3 months or 3 days or whatever, in 3 days, or you're like, all right, cool, bye. Or does it actually happen that way? Interesting. Next is Murder Road by Simone St. James. So Simone St. James is another one that is just very, very popular. I have read her books, some of her books, and enjoyed them. Again, I'm not the hugest, like they're not all-time favorites, but I've really enjoyed them. And so this one is about a couple who is driving and they see a hitchhiker pick her up and she's bloodied and stuff and take her to the hospital. She dies. And so they become enwrapped in the investigation of why so many people are dying on this road. sounds interesting. I have no theories, so there's that, although I almost never do. Next is Ellie Haycock is Totally Normal by Gretchen Schreiber. This says, like, so the blurbs alone got me on this. It says, for fans of The Breakfast Club, it's a big-hearted novel, and it's blurbed by Reese Witherspoon. So I'm not, like, I don't love Reese Witherspoon's book club picks, but I like her as a person, and I'm always curious to see what she thinks. So this is about a chronically ill girl. It's a YA book about a chronically ill girl. I don't know what's wrong. It doesn't say anything. But she has always kind of separated her life into like high school girl and hospital girl. And now I think those two worlds kind of combine. She meets a guy in the hospital that helps her change her perspective on things. And so, yeah, there's that. Then we have Slow Productivity, The Lost Art of Accomplishment Without Burnout by Cal Newport. I think this is such an interesting concept because I don't know if anybody watching this is from somewhere outside of the United States, but it's just, we live in such a hustle culture that it's just crazy. And busy work is such a thing, and like busyness, is just so kind of like touted. And I am a type A person. I love productivity. I love being able to check things off a list. But at the end of the day, it's like, goodness gracious, I was running all day, never sat down. And what did I accomplish? You know, and am I okay with that? Maybe it's good. And just redefining productivity to be spending time with my kids, having meaningful moments with them, really just kind of redefining things. And I think it talks about like seasonal ebbs and flows, and allowing some seasons to be slower and just letting go of the rat race a little bit, but still being productive, and just how we can redefine that. I think it could be something that is really meaningful to me. Next is Take Two, Birdie Maxwell by Allison Winn Scotch. So Allison Winn Scotch is another one that I've really enjoyed in the past. And this is about a rom-com star who is involved in some scandal. I think she gets in a fight on camera or something. And so her career is kind of struggling. And she goes home and sees that there's a note from one of her ex-boyfriends saying like, hey, let's give this a second chance. However, it's not signed. So her and then her best friend's brother decide to go on like a road trip to try to figure out who wrote the note. The best friend's brother has been pining for her for like years and years. So I think we all know probably where it's going to go. But I think it's going to be cute. I think it's going to be interesting. And I love when a guy is the one like pining, because usually that means he's cinnamon roll, and I love that. So there's that. Then we have The Summer She Went Missing by Chelsea Ichaso. Maybe this is a YA thriller about a girl who goes missing, and then her best friend and her brother are trying to figure it out. I think it's got like summer or lake house vibes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about it, but it sounds really interesting. So now, you guys, that is it for March 5th. We're going to go on to March 12th. However, this is going to be a secret to YouTube. One of my most popular videos on this channel is BookTube Moms Tell All. How you manage to read and juggle all the things and be a mom, do all the things. And here's going to be a secret. I'm going to stop filming right now, go to my daughter's basketball game, and then come back and try to act like it's been no time past, and that we are going to pick up filming the rest of the month anticipated releases. So there you go. There's a secret. How you do it. You segment and take the time you got, squeeze in 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and meld it all together and try to make it look seamless. So I just outed myself, but we'll see after the basketball game and talk about more books. Okay, we're back, and I'm happy to report the kids won. So let's get into March 12th. So there is Such a Lovely Family by Aggie, Blum, Thompson. This is an author I've never heard of before, but this is about a Washington, D.C. family who has this annual big party, and somebody winds up dead in the party. And I think a lot of family secrets come out. I don't really know. A prominent family hiding secrets, and then a death bringing it all to the surface. Sounds interesting. Next is Love Unscripted by Denise Hunter. So Denise Hunter is an author I will always read from. She's a Christian author, but a lot of her books are pretty secular or have like minimal faith elements. And this is about a main character named Chloe, which is automatically, like, if it's an author I know and the main character is Chloe, I'll always pick it up. She had a bad breakup and wrote a really good romance book about it. Like, on the heels of that breakup, she wrote a really good romance book. Now it's being turned into a movie, and it's like a silver screen bad boy that is going to play the lead. She doesn't really agree with that, and so she, is not happy about it. And then, of course, the two of them, I think, have a romance. Next is Still See You Everywhere by Lisa Gardner. So I think this is number 3 in like a series, but it's a series that follows the same detective. And I don't feel like you need to read those in order. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't read any of this series, but I'm not worried about jumping in at number 3. So this is about a woman trying to find the long lost sister of a woman on death row. So this woman has like 3 weeks to live and she wants her sister for some reason. I'm sure there will be more uncovered. Sounds interesting. Next is The Underground Library by Jennifer Ryan. So this is a World War II story in London about 3 women working together to save an underground library. I didn't know anything about especially in London and Paris and stuff, the underground libraries. I didn't know anything about that until I started reading books about it. And so it's a concept that I think is really interesting. Next is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. And now I thought Lynn Painter was a Christian author too. I don't think that's true though, or at least this book is not categorized as Christian fiction. So maybe she is, maybe she's not. You guys tell me. But this is about a woman who finds out that her fiance is cheating on her like right before the wedding. And so she really wants to call it off. But her future father-in-law is her dad's boss. And so she knows if she calls it off, the father-in-law will probably like seek revenge on the father and fire him or something. And so she hires what's called, let's see, what do they call them? An objector. So somebody like when they say like, does anybody have anything to say about this? The objector will come in and say like, no, these people should not be married. Here's why. So she hires this objector, and then the two of them start working together as objectors. And then I think like they start to fall in love, of course. And we kind of think about like just the whole idea of an objector, like that being your job, is really interesting. And I think they like get called to the wedding of the girl who broke his heart. And so I don't know. Sounds interesting. Like it's a concept I've never heard of before. Next is March 19th. So March 19th, we have The Best Way to Bury Your Husband by Alexia Casale. This is a dark comedy. I'm going to just read you the blurb. A dark comedy about 4 women who come together to heal the damage their husbands have done and hide their bodies once they've killed them. So all 4 women are killing their husbands, I guess, and trying to hide it. Next is Good Half Gone by Taryn Fisher. So this is about a girl who her twin sister was kidnapped and sold into trafficking, I believe. And nobody, like the cops did not believe her and would not pursue it. And so now it's years later and she's trying to like pursue it and get it figured out. And she takes a job at a hospital for the criminally insane. And of course things start coming out of the woodwork. I don't know how the two are connected, but I'm intrigued. Next is Annie Bot by Sierra Greer. So first of all, I have a daughter named Annie. So again, Annie, I'm always interested. Like it always catches my eye. But this is about a man who creates a girlfriend that's an AI named Annie. And she's like perfect and everything. But he kind of like as she becomes more human, she becomes less perfect. And I think the AI starts to question her own needs. And maybe it's like an AI rebellion. I don't know. Next is Has Anyone Seen Charlotte Salter by Nikki French? So this is a thriller about a woman and a man who both go missing. So the woman is married, has kids, etc. She goes missing, and then a man married to somebody else, whatever, goes missing as well, and his body is found in the river. Hers never is, but they presume that maybe they were having an affair and he killed her and then committed suicide. Something happened. Well, now years later, his adult sons are coming to investigate kind of and do a podcast about it. And then the woman's daughter joins in, and I think they're trying to figure out what happened to their parents. I know there's some like talk about sexism and maybe feminism and things. I don't really know. We'll see. Next is In the Orbit of You by Ashley Shoemaker. So this is about this, like, I think this one might get me. This is a YA about kids who are friends with each other or whatever. And he had to move because I think he was in an abusive situation. And it was like more than they could understand as children. And so they split up, but said if they ever ran into each other again, they would be best friends again. So now, many years later, they end up at the same school. He kind of wants to ignore her, doesn't seem to like remember their promise, and she does. And so the two strike up a friendship again because there's a personality test that goes around the school, and it says they are almost a perfect match. And so their friendship re-sparks. I'm sure it turns into more, and I'm expecting cute, and then like the element of abuse. It talks about like healing from trauma, and the fact that they like share that together, I imagine will add an emotional impact. So I'm intrigued, and I think I'll like it. Next is March 26th. We have The Trail of Lost Hearts by Tracy Garvis Graves. So I love Tracy Garvis Graves. I have really enjoyed everything I've read from her. This one I know very little about. It's about two people who meet geocaching. I don't know what geocaching is. I've never done it. I've heard of it. Like, I know in general what it is, but like, I've never done it. And so if I didn't know Tracy Garvis Graves, I'd be like, really? I don't think that book's for me. But I'm excited. And it kind of reminds me of like Happiness for Beginners vibes by Catherine Center. So maybe. I love that book. So maybe. Next is Everyone is Watching by Heather Gudenkoff, another author that I will always read. This one is about 5 contestants on a show called One Lucky Winner. And I think the 5 contestants don't really know much about what the show's about, but they're trapped in a certain house or something. And I think one of them's out for blood. Very Big Brother-esque. I love the show Big Brother. I haven't watched it in years, but I loved it at the time. So yeah, sounds like a closed room mystery that is very applicable to current times. Next is The Truth About the Devlins by Lisa Scottolini. So I actually have this one in an arc upstairs, but this is about a family of lawyers, and they're all like this prominent family, except there's one black sheep named TJ. And TJ is kind of the bad boy. He's, I think, been arrested for alcohol, all this kind of stuff. So you would think if something's going to happen, it's going to be TJ. However, I think the oldest son confesses to killing one of his clients. And so then TJ is trying to investigate and save his brother. Family secrets are coming out. Again, I trust Lisa Scottolini. I think this will be great. Next is The Perfect Guy Doesn't Exist by Sophie Gonzalez. This sounds really cute. This is a YA about a girl who has, like, her parents are gone for the week, so she is home alone for the week, and she's excited to just binge her favorite TV show, hang out with her friend, whatever. Well, the guy from her favorite TV show comes to life and like, wakes up and he's in her house. And so I think like it's just kind of examining, does the perfect guy exist, or is it all just for show? So that is everything coming out in March. Like I said, there are so many more that I could talk about, but goodness, I already had to do 2 parts, and I feel like my list is long. So let me know what you're excited for. Let me know if you're anticipating any of these, and that's it. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.